Welcome to Blue Oolong, session 8 of 8/8 of 16. I just keep them going because I'm lazy on YouTube. And yeah, we have a new character. We are going to recap the characters, like do a reintroduction for Jim here. Then we'll introduce the new character. Then we'll get you caught up on what happened last episode, kind of thing, recap, and then we'll see what everybody wants to do. So, Aaron, do you want to introduce your character?
Yeah, my character is the Torque character, and it's a sort of a tinker hacker kind of character. Their name is Bergen. They go by J5. They are a former child actor star who has fallen from that position, though his parents still live that lifestyle, and so he has turned to a life of crime in order to support their luxury. Over our time together, J5 thought that he was in charge, didn't do so well at that, and was not actually usurped because he was never actually in charge. But yeah, and now he has been traumatized, and he is obsessed with finding out what this substance is that they found in a contraption that he made that shouldn't have been there. And so, no, I do not know what TV show he was a star on.
Except that it was all my children. Jesse, do you want to introduce your character?
Or Small Wonder.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I am playing Silver. She is, let's see, class. I am the Fuse, which is kind of sneaky infiltrator, that kind of thing. She was, a military background, was kind of like special operator kind of person, then went like private corporate, espionage and stuff like that at one point. Actually worked for one of the, she's, so older, a tipper. So worked for one of the like big oil companies or something that was responsible for, at least partially responsible for, the environmental collapse that happened. At the time was the person that just like, I'm doing my job, whatever the company does isn't my fault. I'm not, responsible for what they do. And then everything actually collapsed, and now she's torn up and doesn't know how to kind of move forward here. Has a real big grief, beef with the, corporations that led to this, and kind of, and the people that were in charge of that. And kind of one of her goals is to expose a lot of that over a period of time. Started out the this game as in this crew as like pretty bloodthirsty, like just willing to kind of tear shit up and kill people here and there. But in our first real score where we were going against another faction, I noticed that like my actions and just kind of going off on my own, killing people, nearly got some of our crew really, really hurt. So there's going to been an interesting shift with Silver of being like much more team oriented and like more protection, less about killing. And so she's kind of like, we got this weird path for her kind of almost softening and becoming a little bit more part of the crew. And I actually can't wait till she traumas, because it's going to go like so the other direction at some point. But yeah, that's where Silver's at right now. Is kind of most of the advances that I've been taking have been about teamwork and making sure I can keep people safe in the things that we do. And I've been pushing. Silver's been pushing more for like less violence and more like, yeah, let's do our job and make some money and do what we need to and stay safe. So yeah, that's where Silver's at.
Cool. And what about Lauren, your character?
Yes, I am playing Vidi, the Faint. She actually started out as an NPC that who ran the tea shop where our hideout is now hidden away. She, for a long time, was in the background controlling things, but now that she's a PC, she has a much more like heavy hand in helping the crew out, getting them to talk to the right people, pushing the product and that kind of thing. The only problem is she's now addicted to the drug. I don't think she knows this yet, I don't think maybe the crew might like infer it before she does. But she is currently obsessed with just trying to find more of the product. Since we just had a big sale, and she wants to make sure that there is a steady flow of sunshine, lest they run out, because that would be awful.
Did you guys call the drug Sunshine or Solace? I can't remember.
I think it's called Sunshine, and
Oh,
Solace
okay.
was JC's pun.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. And then, Jim, do you want to introduce the newest member?
I sure do. So since Jesse recited my entire background, right down to military to oil company so I switched gears a little bit. Akeo Ekwensi is she's a Nigerian woman. Her alias is Butterfly. And I switched it up from military to executive. She's in the high-end bodyguard business before things went to don't worry about it. Before things went to shit in the world, and like all the rich people and celebrities that she did body work for and kept psychopathic fans away from, that whole world kind of collapsed, forcing me across the ocean to where we are now. So, and I think it's something that I had an aptitude for as a teenager and probably got into the business pretty young. And so I envision myself being not much more than like probably late 20s now. But despite that, having had a significant career doing this kind of like close in, keeping people from getting hurt by hurting other people.
Cool. And what special abilities did you take?
I took as my special abilities follow through. When I take, because this is by far, I think, the coolest edge ability. When I take harm from someone, I learn about them and they become more susceptible to me. Whenever I get hit, whenever I take harm from someone, I can immediately ask one question from gather information and take +1 die against them, which is like total action movie. We learn about each other by getting into a fight with each other. The other thing I took is, because that's also action movie cool, every item a weapon. When I unleash physical violence with an improvised weapon, I have the same potency as a blade.
Sweet.
So
yeah, Jason
I can like kill people with a spoon and stuff like that, like John Wick. So
yeah, or John Wick. Yeah, yeah. People talk about that time in the bar
with their fucking spoon. Yeah.
Exactly. Cool. So, does somebody want to recap the events of last session then to catch Jim up? People want it to be me.
I think if I remember correctly, we were going for some turf. We invaded a crew called the Mirrored. They had a hideout, and we wanted to convert it into a vice den. So we did that, and then we found out that Vidi found out how to predict acts of God, and the people who do that are called the Straylight. So I think right now we're trying to decide what to do about going after the Straylight or finding the Straylight, so that we can predict an act of God, so that we can make a score for make a score, because it's the act of God where we get our drugs. That's where we get our sunshine from.
Yeah, and we had just finished a downtime, but if you have 2 downtime actions, you could catch up to the crew with Jim, and then maybe we can tie in how y'all know each other or something too, or how you meet up, how you get employed, that kind of a thing. They did just move up in tier last session, something like that, from 0 to 1, so they do have more people around them, so fictionally it makes sense that there's an additional person as well.
Sorry, so I have downtime actions to spend?
Yeah, if you'd like, the last thing that we did at the end of the previous session was everybody did 2 downtime actions.
Okay.
The information that VD especially got, which usually would have taken a while, but usually whenever VD is trying to do downtime actions to gather information, VD crits. So that happened again, and VD got more information than was expected, and essentially VD tracked down she has a contact she met with and was inquiring about how acts of God could be predicted, because VD, you all have a move that can take acts of God and condense them into like the illicit substance that you guys use. It has some kind of compound in it that you guys use for your drug, and VD's prematurely worried about running out. They just made the sale, so it's probably good for some time, but VD's like, oh shit, we're running out. And so she met with a contact, and the long-term project critted, so I gave her some information about a contact to a faction called the Straylight, which are like only word-of-mouth faction. Nobody had ever heard of them before. And she had followed one of them to the White District, which is a district that y'all aren't a part of or allowed to get into and stuff like that. Your nanites are coded to the green zone, so you can't move through that space. And so VD is, I think, was cooking up a way to try to get at this person. And VD has a meeting time for them in the future in a garden. I think it was something like a week from now or some other nebulous time. And yeah, I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, I recall J5 also throwing stones at the...
Right. J5 had, at the end of this session, the Torque had figured out a way to like reprogram some nanites to be able to get you into this zone, and also got into the good graces kind of a crew, an underground scene of haunts. I believe it was, right? Haunts?
Hackers. Haunts.
Yeah. Yeah. So hackers. And but as a ripple that J5 took, we know that somebody from that group will steal that IP of the nanites and pass it off as their own, which is kind of funny / interesting.
But I don't think I took that. Or did I take the...
You definitely took that.
Yeah, I did take that. Yeah,
you definitely did. I remember specifically clarifying with you, are you sure you want to have a ripple where the thing that you just spent forever? Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you have an in with these this new underground scene, right? That you've been trying to get into for a while. You've proven that you like belong there, essentially. And then you also have a lead with this contact. Which did you learn her name, Lauren? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
Right. Cool. So yeah, that's what's up. So if you want to have 2 downtime actions, you're perfectly able to do so, especially because I could see how perhaps they would bring you in for your expertise on this matter, and you might already even know from a military background, Silver or something like that. No? Okay.
I don't have a military background anymore. I've got a executive background.
Oh, right. Yeah. So however you think that you got hooked up with these fine folks.
Okay, so I guess my first question is: Are the background actions in the Hack the Planet doc that I have here, or is it just the regular downtime actions we take in Blades?
Regular actions as Blades.
Okay, so I don't have. Do we have those kicking around somewhere? Because I don't know that I've got the. Let me see if I've got Blades on.
Yeah. The last Dropbox link should have a reference doc that has all of that stuff on it. Let me check. Put that on there. Yeah.
Like I have PDFs of everything, but I also have like 4 different devices, so I'm never quite sure which computer I've got it on. So
I just posted a link to it.
Yeah, and it's on page 2 of that one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's super helpful.
Didn't even realize it was a reference for dad type actions. Whatever.
Oh. Question, Fraser. While we're doing this, one of the special abilities we got, with our, what is it? Because of is it the good stuff that does this? Yeah. So we've kind of got 2 new little like groups here, like whatever hacker group that J5 has been getting in with, and then this new one. What were they called again?
Straylight.
Straylight.
Yeah. So we're supposed to, like, any new group we start to like encounter, we get to know like that at least one person in that group is hooked on our stuff already. So do you want to, I don't know if you want to give us that or not, but
Straylight, you'd have to come into contact with more of them, I think. But
sure. Okay.
You know that the face that VD had met is not the people in the hacker group for sure. Let me
see. I need to write this down.
So the hacker group, their aliases or their kind of shtick for this is they go by just letters, and you know that N and B are hooked on your product. Essentially, I guess fictionally, we have like a montages thing where we see them like having come into the shops before, right? It would be like the audience watching the show has seen them come in from time to time and think it inconsequential and nothing, and then we see them, oh, they're actually hackers in this thing when J5 goes down there. Mm-hmm. I also added to the Pinterest board what a couple of them wear, which is that strange hoodie with the ones in the, what is it? I'll just send you the pin and try to.
And just for the rest of you, so you know where I'm keeping track of this stuff, on the faction sheet for the crew sheet, I've started listing who is hooked in different groups in the little notes section down there, just FYI, in case you need that info.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. And so a lot of this group wear this hoodie or this pattern on various pieces of their outfits from time to time. And now J5 knows that. And maybe even has one, right? Because you're part of the in-group. Okay. Also, can you guys go to the top right corner in Roll20 and hit the gear, and then under display name, change your name to your character's name with pronouns and whatnot? So people can quickly reference that even if they're out of the tab with all the character names. Cool, thank you. That's perfect. Awesome. And then, yeah, so Butterfly, do you have an idea of how you got hooked up with this crew? Maybe you could put it in with a downtime action or something like that?
Sure. I think that my hunch is probably that like the timing would make sense that I was somehow involved in that place that they took over.
Sure, sure.
And so this was, what was it before they turned it into their vice den?
It was a place where the mirrored would change from their like local identities into the outfits that they actually wear, which is colored robes with an actual mirror.
Okay, so like yeah, so then I presume that sounds like the kind of thing where somebody would need, they'd need people to kind of watch their watch their stuff and keep an eye on the place and things like that. And you know, I kind of imagine it being a thing where, like, you know, I was coming onto my shift or something like that, and it was very clear that something had gone down, and I like walked in on them doing their crew thing, and like we had like a very tense like stare down with each other, and then, you know, my going, okay, well, you guys just took out my, you know, the people that were paying me, so, you know, do you have an opening? And someone said, I don't know, what can you do? And I said, tell you what, I'm going to go out and show you, and then I'll come back. And that'll be my downtime actions, is basically like my audition to join the crew.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
All right. So one of the things that I'm going to do is one of my actions is to reduce heat. And I presume there's someone I can go murder to do that.
Sure. Yeah, there's always people to murder.
Okay. So I'm going to go murder someone to try and reduce the heat on the crew.
It could even be so what they did was, since they didn't want to be like kind of the hardcore killers anymore, they let all the mirrored out of this place.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, that's a problem I can help them solve.
Yeah, especially since you know them, basically.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, do you think it's just like you setting up a meet with the people?
Like I can totally call one of the people that like you know, one of the former, like whomever I know is going to be the most likely to cause them trouble, and say, oh my gosh, I heard what happened. We better get together and make sure that everything is okay. You know, and then when they let me in the door, I'll shiv them.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, so it's a downtime action. You're safe.
We meet wherever it is we meet.
Yeah, well, it can be wherever you want. Let's just make the scene like your intro to your character. So, like, you have carte blanche to just tell me exactly what happens, how it's cool, where it is, anything like that. And you can use the Pinterest board as like a, you know, a muse for that if you like.
So, if any of you have seen Strange Days,
you
know the Angela Bassett character from Strange Days, that's me.
Oh,
so, which I don't. Can you drop a good shot of her onto the Pinterest board there?
Definitely, yeah. I'll grab one.
There's a couple that has her like with a gun, and there's another where she's wearing that black dress and like has the hair like over the side and stuff. And so, but anyways, like kind of picture that as kind of what my character looks like. And so whoever this rich, like I presume are these mirror face people, are they wealthy, or what's their deal?
It's various backgrounds. They're basically a dissident group who basically kind of shed their identity to wear the mirrors to reflect the face of their oppressors back at them. So it's like it ranges from, before it was just people trying to like get information and disseminate it as anonymous people, but recently they had been radicalizing and getting violent and stuff like that. So from all shapes and backgrounds, probably from in the green zone, there's probably like a couple, like one or two affluent people that organized this particular sect or cell of them, and most of the rest are going to be like just kids that needed, you know.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to like the dude who is like dude in his early 30s who's like a lawyer, you know, not a partner or anything, but like a, you know, an environmental lawyer or something like that at a, you know, at some big firm, has a decent apartment, but so you know, we see I come I come up on my scooter, I park it in the, like kind of across the street. I get out, I've got, like just a hoodie and like tactical pants and stuff on, and I just kind of step into an alley. And when I step out, I've got that like the slinky black dress and with the the high neckline and the like, the like thumbless glove kind of things that like go up to my fingers and everything, and I look really nice. I've got a little clutch purse with me, and I cruise right up to the building and buzz the buzzer, and like the bored-looking doorman who's sitting there at the desk playing a video game sees me. I kind of do a coy little wave at him. He smiles and nods, buzzes me in, or kind of whatever the cyberpunky equivalent of that is. The doors slide open and I go in. I just cruise right past him. I kind of wave to him. Elevator up the 87 floors to the condominium where I'm going to. Walk down the hall. Down the long hall to like the second to the last apartment on the right. Stand in front of the little scanner for the door. There's that little flash. Click, click, door opens. And a voice inside says, I can't, I thought they were, I can't believe that, I thought they had gotten you too. We need to talk. And I just nod and step inside. And there's just a single muffled whoomp of something heavy like hitting a carpet. And the door opens, and we can see just the handle of a knife going into my clutch purse, and I snap it shut. And I close the door behind me. And I reach back into my clutch purse and I pull out a little enzymatic cleaning, like a scrub, and I just kind of wipe that over the door handle. Slip that back into my purse, walk back down to the elevator, back out into the street.
Cool. So it sounds like you might be reducing heat with a combat roll.
Yes, yeah. I'm going to be using skirmish. I think skirmish or prowl as you. But I've got two dots in both. So
sure, whatever you like, and we'll see how much heat you reduce.
Okay, so remind me exactly what I'm rolling here.
So you'll just hit the skirmish button on the character sheet, and it'll do it for you.
Oh, and wow.
Yeah, don't worry about controlled position or risky or whatever, because it's a downtime action. Just blow through those options to...
Oh, so where it's highlighted in red, I just tap it?
Highlight. Yes, yeah, tap that, and it should come up with a window asking you what your position is.
It is not doing that.
When you click on
it... Or am I looking in the wrong thing? Where am I looking? This is on my character sheet, right?
Yeah, on your character sheet. You should see skirmish, and when you put your cursor over it, you should be able to click on it.
The action box where you start clicking things off doesn't show up in your character sheet. It shows up in the main page.
Ah, thank you. That's where I was getting lost. Yeah, I had to flip back over. Okay. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, because I expanded my character sheet so that it takes up the whole window. So there we go. Okay. All right. I don't need risky, controlled, desperate.
Don't need to worry about that because it's a downtime action.
Okay, so just click submit and
yeah.
Okay. Effect standard.
Yeah.
Bonus dice none.
Yeah. And you got a 5. Cool. So 2 ticks, I believe. So is it 2 heat? Let me just double check. Reduce heat to do, yeah, 2. So you reduce it by 2 heat.
All right.
Because he's dead.
Yep.
So what does that bring you to heat, y'all? Oh, nice.
Nothing.
How many did you say that it takes off?
2.
Perfect. Yeah, we were at 2, so that totally wipes out all our heat.
Yeah, and that makes sense fictionally too. So the only one who might have talked about it is Edward. Cool. And what about your second downtime action?
Then I'm going to go down into the garage and steal his car so that we have an asset.
Nice. Okay, sounds good. Acquire asset. Yeah, let's see how good it is then. That makes sense to me. So you're gonna.
I'm rolling the cruise tier, right?
Which is 1. Yeah.
Okay, and where is there a place on my character sheet I can do that, or?
It might be on the crew sheet.
Or do I need the die roller? Okay.
Roll fortune, roll engagement.
That's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a specific one for rolling tier.
So where on the cruise ship? Roll engagement? Is that what I'm doing, or?
Let's see.
Roll
if you click on the word tier up in there, it does do a tier roll.
Oh, there you go. Wow,
Yeah,
that's really good.
Found that out. Yeah.
Where is the word tier?
It's in the below reputation and a little bit to the right. After hold and rep and turf, all that kind of stuff.
Crew upgrades, layer, quality contacts.
If you look at the
almost directly to the left of what you were just saying. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. I went all the way to the right instead of just kind of to the right. So okay, there we go. No bonus dice. Boom. All right, got it.
Let's see. So you got a 4. Standard. So you get it's a tier 1 thing. So he wasn't sporting anything too fancy. But what do you think it looks like? What do you guys want it to look like? Was he like a fuckboy with a sports car or what?
I think he absolutely was a fuckboy with a sports car.
Yeah. He's got like
a friendly one.
Yeah, like a corporate lawyer douchebag. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like a Bateau one where it's like a futuristic car that still looks retro, muscly looking thing.
Yeah, it's got like it's got a spoiler on the back that does nothing and stuff like this.
Yeah, for sure. Love it. Okay. And then you just kind of roll up to the blue oolong, which yeah, so in the green zone, I should tell you, it is how I usually describe it is if you picture the original Blade Runner streets, like packed, tons of shops, except that we have a much more diversity of ethnicities there instead of it being like Asian culture takeover.
Sure.
So lots of different storefronts in different languages, packed streets, a little bit grimy, a little bit dirty. And the blue oolong is basically, it looks pretty clean, pretty minimalistic, except that actually it's the picture in the Roll20 when you click to join. So it's kind of like got a steampunk-esque looking thing with the actual place where you come and get your stuff. And then on the right side, it's like a wall of teas, just like Tivana and David's Tea and stuff like that. What else do you guys think? There's a beaded curtain behind the place that separates the actual front from your quarters, which are hidden. So you have like a sort of like basement egress that only you guys know about for your actual sleeping quarters. And then you have your sort of more of your front upstairs, which is like where people actually think you sleep, but you don't. And your inventory and stuff like that. What else do you guys...
A pastry counter.
Oh, right. The most important place.
And one nice plant.
There's a child daycare in the
I don't know why they're going with this. Sweet. So maybe we get a shot of you pulling up in the sports car, right?
Yeah, I totally like I pull up in front of the tea shop and I, and I get out and I, whatever it is you do to feed the meter. Presumably we're still paying a park, I imagine. That's but
Yeah, so actually about that, it looks like same sort of parking pads, except that they're made so that they can go down below. So if an act of God hits, then it just like moves the vehicle underground and protects
cool.
it.
That's great. So. Okay, cool. So, but I pull up and I get out and I come and and I'm back in my whatever, like I said, like my hoodie and my tactical pants and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I come and I walk into the tea shop and and whoever, like, do any of you actually like work the counter at the tea shop, or do you just kind of?
I think VD's usually tending to the storefront with like one or two other people who.
And recently, I feel like I've been actually helping you out, like in a couple of different scenes. So I think I'm often there. I'm probably doing what I seem to be doing all the time, which is standing with like my back to the wall, like legs kind of crossed and arms like this, like just leaning against the wall right next to the beaded curtain, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. So I just come walking in, and like, are there customers in there right now, or is it just us?
Whatever you guys want.
Okay, so let's just say it's a time when there aren't any customers, then we don't need to do the whole let's go in back thing. So so I just come I come walking in, and I say, and I kind of point back over my shoulder at the car that's there, and I say, if you know a hacker, someone's going to need to cut the trace out of that and get a new registration for it. You probably aren't going to be able to use it for very long, but if you have a job coming up, it might be useful. And I pull that clutch purse out of the pocket of my hoodie and I snap it open, and inside, in a pill bottle, is an eyeball. And I say, you can run a retinal scan on this to prove who it is. And I snap it shut and I hand it over to you.
Okay. I think, did you have something, Aaron? Go for it.
I was just gonna say, J5 is watching the security footage, like he's in back, like doing his thing, and he sees the security footage, and he hears that we've got this car, and he just like walks through the beaded curtain directly past you and out to the car.
Okay, and like clear, and like I'll nod at you as you go by, because clearly you're part of the crew here. So
yeah, I think Silver kind of has this like very small, like but noticeable, like appreciative smile. Like, we've gone a less violent route in general, but you're speaking my language still, so I'm digging it. And I think I look to VD like for a nod or a shake of the head, whether you're like liking what's going on here or not.
I think she's sharing a similar like quiet knowing smile and gives Silver the nod.
Excellent.
And then I think she says to our new friend, I remember you. Would you like a cup of tea?
I'm not sure where you... Sorry, was someone else gonna jump in? Or?
Go ahead.
I'm not sure where you remember me from, but if you have something, if you have some chai, I'll take that.
Of course. And she like swishes over to the pot of chai and we'll brew up some chai.
Awesome. I think Silver like kind of sidles up to you at this point and probably hands you a little sheet of I don't know, paper or something like that with an address written on it. I'm like, this is our tattooist. Head there, tell them that the Blue Oolong serves the best tea in Shelter 1, and you'll be all set.
Sure.
So that'll be the key to getting you our blue tattoos. So yeah.
Sweet. Okay. And then why don't we've been going for a little bit, so let's take 5 and come back, and then we'll hit up with a score. Okay. So let's come back at 27.
Cool.
I'm really digging this session.
What did you play yesterday, Lauren?
I didn't play anything yesterday.
What? You didn't wake
Yeah.
up at 4 a.m. for a game?
No, not
Weird.
this time. Oh yeah, I spent a lot of yesterday doing boring adult things like laundry and chores, and then I made myself write some game things.
Ooh,
And yeah,
cool.
Still recovering from that Bluebeard's Bride game.
Oh my god, yeah.
It was so good and so disturbing. Oh man.
Yeah. I thank God I had hacked the planet after that, because it was like the antithesis of Bluebeard's Bride. I was like, yes, I just need a happy fun game.
Yeah. And it was like an Indiana Jones going through a wild dust storm thing. Yeah.
Sweet. That sounds fun.
Yeah, they decided that the best way to get to their goal was to punch through an act of God. And then right before that, they all took the Daredevil special ability as a crew, so that it kind of like embodied that a little bit. Yeah. So cool.
We have Christos the Quark, and he rode the sandstorm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was quite the adventure-y tone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So let's see. You have the newest addition to your team. You just got access to the hackers, and you know where this person lives, even though you shouldn't, VD. And because of the long-term project's fruition for J5, you have means to get into the district if you want to, or you can simply show up at the designated time when they're expecting a meetup, right? Your contact, they used up the last of their poll or no, you kind of like stalked her and overheard where she would be at a specific time. It wasn't so much as your contact telling you about it. It was more like you were doing your spidery things. Cool. So what do people want to do? What lead do you want to pursue? Or opportunity? Did you guys talk even as a group about this? I think you did a little bit. What did VD actually say to y'all?
I think she did, because I think that was like sort of what triggered off J5 gonna
All right.
Figure out a way to get into the white district. Was okay, cool. We've gotten in with the Straylight. We just need to find a way to get to them.
I think, yes, and part of what one of J5's suggestions last time was to go after the foreign market turf, because now that we have this way of moving across these different borders, now we can get other sectors hooked on our product. So maybe making our way into wherever the Straylight. No, we don't know where the Straylight are. We have a contact who knows where the Straylight are.
Yeah.
Or we might have a lead.
Yeah, you have a date and time for where she is going to meet the individual in the park again, and you know where she lives, but the building, not exactly where, and it's a big building, but it's better than nothing.
Okay. So J5 wants to.
What does J5 want to do?
Yeah.
J5 wants to tag along, but split off and set up both get somebody hooked and set up his pirate radio station in this new sector, in the white sector, the white
district.
White district. Those are the two things that J5 wants to do.
Okay. So you want to. Okay, so you want the ability to use the station in this district as well.
Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah. For
okay. For now.
It's a foothold situation. We're just getting in there.
Okay. Well, all right. So it's free play, so you'll have to do an action for this. What do you think you're doing?
I think for the pirate radio, I think that's a tinker. I think I find some type of broadcast station or some type of broadcast that's sort of pre-existing, and I just sort of I have imagine is just a little magnetic box that I can just sort of stick on and then rewire a little bit, and it doesn't disrupt the entire bandwidth of whatever's happening. It just takes a little chunk out of it. It's a very small, narrow sort of sphere, maybe a block. And so that's what I want to do.
Okay. And we already know that you're allowed into this district now, so that sounds good. Tinker nothing. That's weird. Did everybody see the picture looking weird?
Yeah.
That's weird, yeah. Did you...
It says no character was found for Bergen, and then it rolled a thing, but didn't roll anything.
Maybe just try again? It's weird. Yeah. Where did Bergen go? You got nothing happening. What is going on? And you're just trying to do Tinker, right?
Yeah.
But it did the same for...
I tried an insight roll too, and that didn't change
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just change your name and your alias real quick. Maybe it just needs to sync up again or something. I don't know. Just delete it and then change it and put it back in or something like that.
There we go. All right, position?
It's going... So give me the fiction of what you're actually doing. Is it something that affixes to the top of a building or something? What is...
I imagine it like an electric pole, like an electric pole. And so I have to scale up those little that little ladder that's built into an electric pole, and maybe I put on a fake construction worker hat and a little yellow vest or something, and or I suppose in this world it would be a green vest, and sort of climb up, and I've got a giant leaf imprint on the back of my on the back of this thing, and I'm going in maybe I'm maybe I have a stencil and I have to spray paint it green, a green flower on it, so that it seems like I'm doing some type of some type of upgrade that makes it makes it more eco-friendly, and that's my yeah. So that's my climb.
Okay, so it's something that attaches to a electrical pole, and then it just sort of traverses through the district via this electric current, basically, right? Okay. Yeah, I think it's just a tinker. I don't think people really give a shit about this at the moment. I will give you a ripple, though, that that one of the mirrored sees you, and you get 2 ticks to your clock. The mirror find out, because they're actively looking for more of you and searching for you and stuff, right? Ever since you did that thing.
Hmm.
It is much harder now that their leader is shot in the head or whatever, or stabbed, but nonetheless, they are about.
I think that I can choose whether to take that, right?
Mm-hmm. You're in a controlled standard position.
Okay.
If you're
Yeah, I
using
think I need
tinker. Yeah. Is that so? Well, we'll
Well.
see. We'll see what the dice say.
You shall see.
Oh yeah, see, so just changing it. Yeah, I guess maybe it just had some weird name thing going on, hey?
Yeah, I used a different punctuation mark that I don't think it liked.
Oh. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you got a 5 on a controlled roll. So you hesitate, withdraw, try a different approach, blah blah blah. Minor complications, reduced effects, lesser harm, risky position. Yeah, I like that. So I think you're up there doing that action, and let me just describe a little bit of flavor of this district, because we haven't really gone into it aside from that one job that you guys did in the district, and this is sort of the really nice one. This is the corporate area, right? So if we're going with the allegory of your district being like the original Blade Runner, this district is like Blade Runner 2049, right? Where it's like minimalism. There's not a lot of people packed on the streets. There's most of the people here probably have transit, like the spinners, like actual cars and stuff like that. And there's not a lot of businesses and stuff. It's very sterile, corporatized, stuff like that. And much less advertising and stuff too, right? It's like the difference between YouTube and YouTube Red, basically. These people don't have to see any of that shit. But yeah, so I think you're sort of set up as a Nourish employee or something like that, you were saying, that was working on the lines, right?
Yeah.
When one of the, I think we'll say a sentinel comes by, and I'll get a picture. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Where are my sentinels at? I need to organize this board better into little sections. I think in this district especially, they have flickerware, which is, well, it's not technically flickerware, but it is the same kind of technology, which is they have like they're all black. They have just a little bit of skin showing here. Otherwise, they have like a kind of goggly looking thing, like a Victorian steampunky look, with clean lines, not boxy looking outfit at all. And they have a branded S for safety that's quite small on their shoulder. And I think that this one is in particular a little bit androgynous looking, and they have a hood up so you can't even tell what their like hair and stuff like this, and with the outfit that they have on, that's why it's hard to tell if they're masculine or femme looking, stuff like that. And they call up to you and they say, "You there? What are you doing?"
Oh, I'm just regular maintenance. Just.
And you still succeeded, so you've already done that, and you're coming down now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just new technologies come out every day. We're just making it the most efficient box that we possibly can.
I think her goggles sort of turn to that greenish hue in the Matrix, all of the hallways in the Matrix, right? And you can tell that she's like scanning you, and it comes up clear just because you have that technology, right? Your nanites are like, yep, this person's supposed to be here. And she looks at, or they look at you very like, they leave an intentional space, like a pregnant moment in the conversation, so that you know that they're like eyeing you suspiciously. And then they sort of like harumph and walk away and leave you. But you get the sense that they're not like done with this. You have like a underground hacker gut feeling that there is more to this person and what they are doing.
I said, "Thank you. Sorry, no worries. You know, have a great day."
And so, do you just exit the district like normal, or what do you do now that that has happened?
I don't want him to see. Is there a better district than the White District?
No, this is the corporate area. This would be like you're in the core, right?
I was gonna say,
and districts
to go to a better district, and I'd be like, yeah, suck it.
Very nice. Well, as I understood it, the nanite hack is just for the White District, is it?
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be difficult. But you have hacked it so that you get to go into this. And basically, what it looks like is each district has kind of the lines on the sides of the wall that lead you out of the district to a specific district, right? So it's kind of got that underground bunker-ish feel to where you're supposed to navigate to with these lines. And so with the white path in the green district, that's how you've like come and gone. And there are paths that lead through other districts, but you have access to only the green to white district path, right? And so yeah, what is your plans after?
So I think I take the I imagine the space is having a lot of like green travel options. So I want to just like steal a bike or like a little razor, like a scooter or something or other. So that I'm just trying to lean into this fiction, and I'm going to like draw up like find a schematic like where the nearest like recycling plant is, or like tech plant is, maintenance plant, and I'm just going to scoot my way over there. So if he's following me, he sees me going back to work.
After stealing a vehicle.
I mean, a vehicle is, I mean, we're talking like these things are what, $50 today. In the future, it'd have to be, you know, I'm just like, wee! It's yeah.
Like you're picturing like a futuristic scooter type thing or something?
It doesn't even have to be that futuristic. I imagine it is low tech, but yes, I'll take a futuristic scooter. I'll take a hoverboard. You want to give me a hoverboard? I'll have a hoverboard for that.
Is there an equivalent of City Bike, like where you can just throw a couple credits in and grab a bike and ride it to another part of town?
Yeah, I'm sure there's something like that. You could have an actual thing like that. I'm sure that, and especially in a corporate zone where they want to, the appearance of being ecologically friendly with everybody is probably even a competition, right? Like, oh, did you take your vehicle in today? Oh, passe, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay, so what action do you think this is then? Are you ghosting them, you think?
What is ghosting again?
Ghosting is like the equivalent of prowl. So let me read it for you here. Ghost. Move about unseen and traverse obstacles, climb, swim, run, jump, tumble, ambush with close violence. So it's like the physical stat as well as the like sneaky stat or trait.
It's more trickery. Is this like a consort or a sway?
Well, consorting is with other people, Sway might be it though. Like you're just trying to assuage their belief that you're
Yeah.
up to no good, right? Okay, yeah, sure. So do sway if you would like, and if you want to ripple, then just let people know.
No, I got this. Is this controlled? Risky?
Let's say risky for unknown reasons with standard effect.
Oof.
5. Interesting. So you do it. Complication. How much of a dick do I want to be? I think. Yeah, let's do this then. I think that you get to, like a few blocks away, you're going to this place, and you see like the spinner above kind of like tailing you a little bit, and then they like, oh, you have your hookup here, right? Your pirate radio. So I think you actually hear like a call, like they get a 911 distress thing or whatever, right? Like problem with X, and they kind of bleed off there. But you have a feeling that it's not like a completely, like you have blown them off today, but they will remember you. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll cut to whoever wants to do another action. We do the screen wipe. Does anyone have another action that they're into? Or do we want to do a score even? Or do people want to get more information before the score?
I want to go visit my I want to go visit my street doctor friend.
Okay.
My back alley doctor.
Cool. And then what is their name?
Their name is Bronx.
Oh, Bronx, right. Okay. Do you have a picture picked out for them, or should I grab one?
Feel free to grab one.
Okay. Bronx. I kind of like... with this, just to... I think the normal Bronx would be like a heavy set man or something like that. So let's subvert expectations and go with this sort of 80s vibe lady with these crazy sunglasses, if that's what you would call it.
Cool. Where are you putting that up?
Oh, I just put it in the chat. And if you click on it and it doesn't take you to the...
there we go. I got
it'll be the top left picture.
Something went wrong.
She's got like blocky... Oh, it doesn't work for you? Sometimes that happens with Yoshi too. So let me try this. How about that? Does that work?
Sometimes it happens to me, but if you just like copy the link and paste it.
Oh, instead of going direct from Hangouts. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll just try to remember to do that
one
URL.
Works. Yeah, cool. That's totally great. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's totally someone who would be hanging out with like early 90s Angela Bassett. So
yeah,
that totally works for me.
Yeah. And I like the sunglasses, right? Which are like great, like really small.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. And what do you think her establishment looks like?
She has a I think that it's like what's a cool thing? You know what she does is like a tattoo removal and like piercing reversal, stuff like that. Like her kind of, she's got like a storefront where she does like outpatient kind of like short of surgical type of stuff. commercially, but in the back she's got a full, a full setup where she can operate on you if she needs to.
Cool. Okay, so maybe when you I imagine it would be kind of like a brownstone thing where you have to like step down to get into it, and there's probably like a whole bunch of graffiti around, but the graffiti is something that I can't remember what the term is for it, but it's where the street art blends in with the plant life. So
Sure.
it's got like it's got a picture of like a black man, but above it, instead of the afro, there's like a tuft of greenery where the hair would be.
So she's kind of like adjacent to the district where all the like tattoo parlors and piercing places and like the things like in Babel 17 where you can get a bird cage inserted into your arm and stuff like that. She's like the next block over, so that when people inevitably regret going in there, after having had like 3 hits of sunshine, she undoes whatever like bad decisions, that helps them undo whatever bad decisions that they've made.
Here's a question for you then. Is she your friend, at least in part because you're giving her sunshine? Is she hooked on it?
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna bring her some and ask her to take a look at it and see whether she might be able to come up with like a better delivery system for us.
Oh, okay.
Like a way to kind of, like some kind of thing, like to get it into people quicker, and maybe have the high last not quite as long, but be a little more intense, perhaps.
Okay, cool.
And the other thing I'm going to have her do is take a look at this tattoo they gave me and make sure there's nothing like there aren't any like nanites encoded on it, or they can't track me through it or anything like that. And to make sure that it's like that all they did was ink me up and not mess around with me.
Cool. Okay, so J5, did you do any? I think you would be the one to let the tattoo people know if anything like that was necessary. Did anything like that happen?
No.
You sound disappointed as fuck, too. No, we're legit.
No.
Cool. Okay. That's fun then. Okay, so I think when you walk in, some patient is going out, and it's probably like some 16-year-old girl who just got like I Heart Jimmy or whatever off, right? And for the sake of like the audience or whatever, the technology, I think wouldn't actually work like this, but just visually, I like the idea of it being sort of like a stick-on, and she applies this like film to it, and then when she rips it off, the tattoo comes off as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Along with the top, whatever, 100 molecules of skin or something like that. It's like that's awesome. It's like getting a high-tech Brazilian. That's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And then so the girl is maybe like a little tears and stumbles out, right? And when you come in, she's like inhaling a huge drag of whatever the equivalent of future cigarettes is.
Sure.
Probably got actually, let's say that it's shisha, and it looks kind of like a vape thing, like it's a colored taste. And she's got like bisexual lighting going on, right? And she exhales, and she's like kind of side eyes you and says it's good to see you again.
How do you do that shit when you're a doctor?
I mean, everything's curable these days,
I suppose. You may have heard about what happened at my last gig, but I've got a new gig, and this crew, I think they might be onto something, but I want you to take a look at it for me.
Okay.
And if it's as good as I think it is, then we're gonna get you out of the basement here and up on and get you an actual apartment.
Cool. And so You're essentially just getting her to check out the delivery system. She's your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let's give her 3 dice in this. And do you think that this is like an abstracted long-term project for her, basically?
I think so, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, like this is, take a look at it, and if you come up with something, that's great. And by the way, if my friends get hurt, I may be bringing them by for you to patch them up.
Gotcha.
My new friends.
I think she grabs like, what is it now, you guys? Have we talked about it on screen, what the thing looks like even? I don't think so, right? So what is it that we see that she's holding now? What do you think?
You mean what's the current delivery system for Sunshine?
Yeah, like what is it that she's holding on camera for Sunshine? Is it got like an applicator right now, or something that you freebase, something you cook up, something that you smoke?
So I think she's holding a like a little folded cardboard thing that looks like 3D glasses.
Okay.
With like a film where the eyes go, and you unfold it, you put it on your face, and you like tap a little thing in the side, and then it like glows, and it like the sunshine goes like right into your body through your optic nerve.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Is everyone okay with that? Does that sound cool?
If
yeah, and and maybe like, you know, whatever, maybe you're like flash blind for a couple of seconds after it, you know, after it goes off, and then when you're done, you can just take it and you take that applicator, and it's whatever, like I said, cardboard and film, you drop it in a recycler, and there's no evidence that you're not like worrying about throwing away needles or anything like that.
Right.
Is everybody cool with that? Does that sound like a neat way to do that, or
is this the new one or the old one?
That's the old one, right? She's looking at this one to try to make
sure.
it better, right?
Because I would think that would be a really cool like
New thing.
upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to ditch that.
okay.
I didn't.
Idea was that it was a tea bag, right? Like, wasn't it like?
Oh, because of the tea shop. Sure. Okay.
We've used it a couple of ways. In the past, we've like at the the social score that we did, we had it in a smokable form, and we kind of had them like as cigarettes so that we could have them out very socially and everything at that party. I think I don't know if we've come up with much other than that right now. So it's, yeah.
No, but
I'm sorry. From the way everyone clammed up, I thought you hadn't talked about it at all.
Yeah,
before.
I had forgotten about it as well, but let's say that's what she develops, though, because that's pretty cool.
I'm totally into it. I think that's really neat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It fully plays into the we don't know what we're doing kind of like. We try smoking it, and then your friend's like, guys, you put it through your eyes because it's sunshine, and we're like, oh yeah, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
I love it.
And especially if it's like you need 3 ounces for the same thing that I could do with, you know, like 400 molecules of it in this other delivery system, or, you know, whatever, something like that. Basically, we want a way to make it more potent and get into people's bodies faster.
Yeah. So I think, let's say that, she got a 6 on her roll, which would be 3 ticks. And so I think she gives you the prototype. Like, I think we get like the time passes montage thing or whatever. And she gives you that prototype. And when you initially give her the like smokable form and the teabag thing, I think she does the like, that's cute.
Yes. How quaint. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she gives you
God, the prototype totally looks like those sunglasses, the glasses with the slats on it. That's yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I need something more portable than this, I tell her.
Yeah. And it probably is something that would be like if those slats were magnesium and then caught on fire or something.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just be funky with time a little bit and say that she's halfway to being done and the prototype is done, and that's the thing that you got. Is that cool?
Fantastic. All right, cool. Thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks everybody for your patience.
And does anybody else have a thing that they want to do in free play? And remember, if you don't want more information on the thing, we can always just be like, let's do the score now. Pick a score, jump into it, whatever you want.
Do we feel like we have enough information to go for a score right now, or do we need to do any more like recon on this?
Yeah.
Score. I'm confused by the score right now because I think that VD still has to go talk to the contact, or is the contact the score?
That's what you guys were thinking last time. You were thinking it would be an interesting social score where you show up, like, you know where she is going to show up for her other meeting, and you would, like, maybe show up on the way to her thing or whatever, and the score sounds like you want to get in bed with her, or, like, you know, get some kind of business dealings, or I don't know what you had planned, but
because we want to get a good like business relationship with this group, because man, they could be beneficial to us, and then we could try and figure out, like, I'm almost envisioning it like being a I don't know what this sounds like to you guys, but like I think it would be interesting if we get a good relationship to them and we get information about incoming acts of God by doing them an occasional like solid, as far as like, you know, okay, we need this done kind of thing. It could be kind of an interesting deal. They ask for occasional favors, and we always get like the, you know, up to the minute, you know, like details on when acts of God are coming in, and so that we can prep and whatnot. I don't know.
Nope, that's great. I like it. J5 already has a crazy plan.
Yay.
Excellent. Good.
oh my gosh.
Always.
So no more gather information. You want to do the actual score now, or what's the plan?
I might. So we know the contact. Is that something that VD's shared with all of us and everything? The details about this particular contact and who they are.
Yeah, totally. She trusts all of you.
Yeah. Do we have any other like what was the information we got on the contact exactly? Like I'm trying to remember that to see if there's anything else I need.
You got that they lived in the White District in a particular building, and they belong to Straylight, which is a word of mouth organization that y'all really shouldn't know about.
Okay.
And I think that's about it. I don't think you learned her name or anything like that.
Okay. I have a couple ideas. I'm interested in doing a gather information thing here, and I have a couple ideas where this could go, and I want you guys' opinions on it. It could be a gather information on that particular contact to find out like information about them that'll help us approach the social situation in a way that they'll be receptive to give us a little bonus there or whatever. I don't know how. Or we could I could try and do a little bit more digging on the faction itself to find out what they want, and we could come prepared to offer you know, like, hey, we can do this for you if you can do this for us. I could see either bit of information being really useful. I don't know what you guys think.
But they both sound amazing. Like, would Hayne be a good person to go to talk about factions, or?
Maybe. I'm not sure if the Sentinels are aware of this faction, though. I could do a fortune roll, but I don't know if you want them to be aware of Straylight either.
Yeah.
I mean, it also sounds like the Straylight want to stay hidden.
Yeah.
So that opens up a third avenue, which is blackmail.
Yeah. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Threatening to expose them if they don't give us what we want.
Silver would argue against it, but as a player, I'm interested in exploring all these options. Like Silver would be like, we want a solid like up and up business relationship with these folks. We don't want to piss them off. But as a player, I'm totally cool with it. So that's like,
Blackmail did not go so well for us last time.
Oh, there we go.
Another thing is you just gained access to the hackers, right?
Right. Yeah. So we could use that contact as like a potential way to dig up information on them as a faction, find out what they need, and like come prepared to either offer it, or we could do a pre-score, like, this session to like get them what they need, offer it to them like, hey, we just found out about you guys. We're keeping our mouths shut, but here's this thing that you want, and like really be able to like impress them, possibly. Like we could do a score just getting what we think they want. Or I don't know, thoughts?
That approach worked for me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'd be interested in doing does this sound reasonable to you guys? Like digging up this information. So yeah, so Silver's going to, I think, do we want to go through the hackers, or do I want to go like,
if we can get it on our own, there's no reason to involve anyone else and owe them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have a friend that I could use definitely for this to get like kind of a, some help with it. I think I'll start with that. I think I want to do a gather information roll. I'm going to go to my spook friend Anvi and be like, hey, heard about this new group. Need some information on what they're looking for. We're looking to to make some contact with this really secretive group, and I think Anvi and I'll like start doing some recon and asking around and stuff like that to try and like dig it up, in kind of I think probably like putting out feelers with our, relative, like our spook friends in the shelter.
Okay. So is this going to be a meet or just, or what?
No, I think it's, you mean a meet with the faction or?
With Envy, like, do you want to handle that in fiction or just abstract it to out?
I think we can. I don't want to take up a ton of time with this. I think I'd
Sure.
love to be able to. So I think it might make sense to just kind of have this be like a little montage of like a quick little conversation, and then you like maybe see like like I say, a montage of us like hitting the streets, talking with other contacts, and trying to dig up just like, okay, what are these people about? What do they want? And something that we can give them.
Okay. Yeah. Roll what you think it is.
Yeah. I think it's going to be consort. I think it's a real a social thing of like we're going around talking to people that Envy and I might both know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll say it's risky.
Okay.
And standard effect, and just like normal gather information. What your role will decide how much.
All right. So I'll get a bonus die for using my contact, right?
Yes.
And then I don't know, J5. Do you want to like also put out word to your hackers? And I don't know if that would count as like an assist, like the help to give me an extra bonus die or something like that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure, we can say that's happening in the fiction.
If that's reasonable, if you want to do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So that's a couple bonus die.
And I take stress for that, right?
Yeah, if you want to do it, if you can handle the stress right now.
Oh, I can handle it.
All right. J5 is up for anything. I love it. Okay, so that's 2 bonus dice. All right, got a 5.
Good information. So, is your contact an ex-spook or a spook right now?
Still active. Yeah, this
Still
is someone
active?
that I knew. Yeah, I'm the one that got out of the game.
Okay. Let's say that, yeah, you like hit the streets, all that stuff is happening, and the moment when you say like, yeah, we're looking for these people that can do these things, and maybe you verbalize it to somebody at that club that you frequent, some stuff like that or whatever. And then as soon as you exit that club and you go walking down the street, and maybe we get through this montage, it goes from like day to night, right? So it's in the evening. And out of the darkness, there's like someone with yellow eyes. And Envy turns to them and is like, shit, you like scared the bejesus out of me kind of thing, right? And they sort of like motion you over, and I'll do this quick because you're right, we only got 50 minutes, but essentially it's a friend of Envy. They don't give their name, of course, because spooks do as spooks do. And they say that what the Straylight are after is a special kind of fuel, and they like give you a smart paper encoded to your nanites, and when you touch it, it's just like I don't know how well versed you are in science, but it's like a whole bunch of science, and you can guess that it's like the formula configuration of the fuel that they need.
Sweet.
And yeah, if you show it, let's say that you show it to J5 to speed it along, and J5 knows that it's jet fuel for stuff that aircrafts use.
Sweet. Yeah, so I think after that information, I mean, I'm imagining us cutting to like a quick scene in the back, like past through the beaded curtains that we opened in the particular way so as not to set off the, security measures. And then I think we're like all around the table, planning, and I just, give this information and be like, if we want to impress these people and not make them like run or like immediately dislike us because we actually know who they are, we got to come prepared with something they want. And here's what they want. Any ideas on how we get it?
J5 has a scavenger friend that he can call on for this. Perhaps. His name is Sanvi.
Sure. For gathering information with your friend?
No, for the jet fuel.
Oh, to get the jet fuel.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see. Let's do a fortune roll. Tier 1.
Sound ominous.
They're scavengers. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, you meet with your, or maybe you're talking with them online or something like that. If it's a, if it's a hackery thing, right? Like IMing them or whatever. And I think at first your contact's like super cocky, right? They're like, "Oh yeah, I can get you anything you need. I have it all this stuff." And then you send them like the fuel configuration and stuff like that, and they're like, "Right, this is gonna cost you. This is not like the basic stuff. This isn't like the normal." For one, it's strange that any vehicle in this setting kind of needs fuel. Most of them are ecologically powered and stuff like that. This is like it'd be like a military aircraft, right? That needs fuel. So he says, I can get this for you, but it's going to cost 4 joules.
I will bring that back to the blue Oolong. I was going to say, if you were going to make it 1, because that's all I have, that I would pay for it privately, because J5 like wants the credit for having been successful in this, but he does not have that kind of cash.
We could even just do a flashback, because this will come out of the the crew stuff, and we've got that. I don't know if you want to like we could do a flashback to like loading you up with the jewel, transferring the data for the jewels that we have to you, and then it's just up to you with this meeting whether you want to like haggle with them or whatever. I don't know, man.
Can I haggle with them? I've been doing well on this recently.
You want to try to haggle? Yeah, sure. Give me a quick roll then, if you want to try to sway him, if that's what you're doing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, I think it's definitely... I actually, for reasons you don't know, I think it's desperate.
Whoa.
Standard position. So mark XP if you're going to do
it. Fuck me. Yeah. Standard?
Yes, standard effect.
And are we also to understand that the very fact that they are using jet fuel is a blackmailable offense?
No. It's kind of like a gray area. People, basically, you shouldn't be making this stuff, but you can buy it from corporations.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, crit. Okay. What a dick. Okay. I have an idea of what the bonus effect would be, but we can negotiate. I think they'll cut it in half because of your actual success, right? So it'll be 2 joules, but they'll also give you, if you want, a like sort of Blair Witch camera shaky recording of this like airship going by, and it kind of like zooms in right before it like goes into a dust storm, and it has like Straylight written on the side of it.
Nice.
And you know that they want to keep things like, they wouldn't want that out, right?
Okay.
Unless you want something else for your bonus effect. It's up to you.
No, I think that's, unless other people have a stake in this.
I would say that would go as far as a setup action as well. So,
question: is this like just a copy of this video, or is this like the only copy of this video?
It's the only copy of the video since you crit with extra effect.
Nice. So yeah.
Okay, so J5 comes back to the blue Oolong with these things in tow. like hauling a container of jet fuel.
You just walk into your establishment with it, really? Okay.
behind the beaded curtain.
Oh, okay.
Which is going to be the documentary that they make about us, like 10 years after we collapse.
Behind the beaded curtain.
It's going to be on MTV, future MTV.
Yeah.
And then everybody's sort of sitting around and they're all singing my praises. Yay.
Yeah.
And I just slide a video across.
Yeah. That makes Silver's eye, like usually Silver, I think, is relatively stoic facially, but I think you see like Silver's eyes just go like super wide. And if I'm like standing next to you, I probably slap you on the back like a little too hard, you know, like probably, you know, I don't know, but like, yeah, I think this is about as animated as you see Silver.
Just to make it even cooler, I think right before the video cuts out, when they go into the dust storm, you see like a red, I think all of you are in the underworld, so you'd know. It's like a red flare as it like falls down from the ships, and you've probably heard stories about these people. They're called comets. So what do you do?
So I guess the question, like, now that we have this stuff, the question is, are we going for a truly social thing where we want to get on these guys' good side, or this could be incredible blackmail stuff? I mean, Silver is going to argue for, like, if we give all of this to them, we will be in with them so good. Like, we could really, like, this could be exactly what we need to set us up for like future, you know, Act of God scores and stuff like that. But I'm also interested if, you know, as a player, if any other characters have any other opinions.
This may be on them, that if we tell them we know it, they might rather just not have us around. Maybe we keep this tape in our back pocket and we know we have it. And if we need it, we can use it. But it might be good for them not to know that we have it.
So you're saying use the fuel now and just keep the videotape for any potential outcome, like stuff later on. Silver, like, yeah, Silver nods appreciatively at that.
For a rainy day.
Mm-hmm. I like that very much.
I also love that that's the sort of ruthless side of your character. What does Vidi say about all this?
I think like Vidi gets to open her mouth, but then our new person cuts in with that, and then she just sort of like smiles appreciatively and gives a nod, because things change, and it's always good to have options.
So here's a question. If you are doing a score with this, are you doing it in line with your sales territory? Because you get a bonus downtime action to set this up even more if you like. If so.
Okay. So when you say do this in line with our sales territory, do you mean like we have to bring the meeting over to us?
No, I mean like when you execute a... Oh, that's true. Actually, yeah, it's not in your district, so it wouldn't matter. That's a good...
Because I had an idea for that.
Okay.
K5 had an idea for that.
Okay.
Which is we reprogram all the streetlights to lead them to a place of our choosing as sort of a way of like, we control these streets, we can move between these zones and set up like a giant like buffet, like just make it go all out. Like we are, you know, we know what we're doing. And then like under a buffet tray is the jet fuel. That's my plan.
That's amazing.
What is your your hunting ground thing? Is it sales, acquisition, sales?
For sales, right?
So,
Yeah.
Okay, so you're probably not making a sale anyway, right? So
So we need more stuff. That's what I've been saying for ages.
What? Yeah, we need more stuff. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so okay, so are we ready to pick a plan? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
And what is it?
You guys think a social?
Is it a meat?
Plan? Is it a meat? Like, yeah. I don't know.
Because it sounds like it might be deception if we're going J5's route, right? Like to get them to go someplace else.
Yeah.
I don't think that's deception. We're not being deceptive about anything. We're being cocky there. I mean, is there an arrogant approach or?
Well, the idea is that they buy into the idea that they're going to a meeting that they thought they were going to originally, I thought.
Now you lost me.
So what is the plan, J5? Are you trying to get them to... you want to force them to go someplace that they don't want to go? Or is the plan that they're like in an automatic flying vehicle or something and you are making them fly to your territory instead of the meet, and when they get out, you're there or whatever, right?
The latter, I think. That's just one idea. Again,
yeah, I would say that's cool. I would also say we probably don't want to interrupt their meet. Maybe it's like as they finish whatever meet they're gonna have, because we don't want to like piss them off by screwing up what they've got going. Maybe have that be like exactly what happens as soon as they take off right after the meet.
Okay.
Right? Does that
instead of going home, they go to you.
Yeah. So that way we're not actually interfering with their business, but we're getting their attention and gonna hopefully something. Does that sound like an interesting approach or not?
Okay.
Yeah, I dig that a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, we just have to decide what the heart of the plan is. Is it still a social thing? And this is like perhaps a setup action or something like that?
I think that's cool. I think we definitely love as a crew like doing crazy J5 setup actions, and I dig it so much. Yeah.
J5 does like to J5 does like to make this stuff happen. So,
so I'm voting social, but what do you guys think?
I think the intent is social. Like the goal is to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And then the first part of the plan, though, is to sort of throw your weight around a little bit, right? Instead of them going home, they're going to your designated meet spot, which is where, PS?
In the vice den.
Oh, okay.
And our new vice den.
Interesting.
I like that.
Okay. I like that too, because it's a little vulnerable as well. You're showing like a little bit of your real estate. What do you think, Jim?
I'm just along for the ride.
Are you happy to would that still be fun for you though?
Yeah. No, sorry. I'm happy to be along for the ride.
No, okay.
I'm like just barely keeping up with what's going on because I haven't been part of any of this up till now. So I don't know that I really have anything useful to contribute to, like the plan and what everybody usually does in one of these plans. So
it's usually chaos and everything goes wrong. So
which I'm on board for.
Yeah, but if you do have any questions or anything's not clear, please ask, man. We definitely want to make sure you're feeling part of things here.
I am still like I'm a little lost. That's all.
Okay.
With what all is going on.
Yeah.
We want to sell we want to give jet fuel to someone, but they don't know we want to give them jet fuel, so we have to basically kidnap them to give them jet fuel. Is that like is that about where we're at?
Basically, yeah.
That's the level of class you're dealing with
The
here.
correction here I would make is that we don't have to object to them in order to do this. That's J5's craziness, sort of.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I think like it is a wonderful conflation of me and my character, that my character is just kind of standing back, like looking at this conversation going on, like looking back and forth between you, kind of going, okay, I guess this is how they usually do stuff. So let's see what happens. So yeah.
What did I get myself into?
Yeah.
I think it also might be cool. Sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
No, sorry. I was just going to ask, is the big picture reason why we're trying to get in with this group, is that making sense, or do we need to back up on that a little?
I don't understand that. No.
Okay, I can give you just like a quick simple explanation. So we primarily sell these drugs that we harvest from acts of God. So we'll go out and like, do a score that is actually about like doing some kind of like energy extraction from these big storms.
Sure, yeah. With you,
we found out
so far.
Yep. So we found out, like VD found out about this other organization that is incredibly secretive, like moves from place to place, and they seem to like be able to predict everything about these acts of God, what it is, where it's going to show up and everything. And we're like, oh man, if we can get intel from them and build a business relationship, great, cool.
Got it. So like the they can predict them was the piece that I
sure.
like got past me somewhere there.
Cool.
So
yeah.
Probably my own fault. So but yes, good. Now I'm totally on board.
Nice, cool. Wanted to make sure you knew what was going on.
Thanks, yeah.
And also in terms of narrative, I'll say that J5's role is to come up with crazy plans that usually somebody else in the crew will say, why don't we just do it this way and it'll be simpler and safer. So for your character, I think it makes sense here to be like, what are you talking about? Why not just do
no, I'm not necessarily comfortable stepping in and going, is he out of his mind? What is going on? So yeah, no, like I said, I don't mean along for the ride like I don't feel like I have any agency. I'm like, no, I'm along for the ride here. Let's see what's going on. I'm enthusiastically along for the ride.
Yeah. If you did like talk to Silver and be like, is this how this usually goes? Silver would just go like, yeah,
okay.
This is kind of standard.
Okay.
And we'll say if you do manage to pull this off, J5, with kind of like reprogramming the car or however you come up with this, then you'll get a bonus on the engagement. Like you'll get an +1D on the engagement roll. We'll fit it into one of the questions, which is probably did a friend or any other factors come into play. And that will be, yes, you messed with their car. So if people are into that, is the plan to hack the car? Is the plan to wait for them to get into a meeting and then take over her driver or something like that? Like bribe the driver? What's the plan?
Could the plan be to have one of us be the driver?
Totally. I think that's awesome. Yeah. Especially with it could definitely be your character, since you're like looking for work, you have executive ties already. You're definitely the most trusted out of all these people.
I'm whatever license you have to be an executive bodyguard. I presumably have, and yeah, that was my thought. Was like, if one of us is the driver, that makes this whole gig way easier.
Yeah. So why don't we I'll charge you 1 stress because it's plausible, and we'll handle it as a flashback already going on this job. How about that? And then let's go to the engagement. I like that a lot, actually. So engagement score. Engagement, we've got, so it's still going to be social, is what I understand. And the connection is her, which you have. Correct? Yeah. Cool. Okay, so is this particularly bold or daring? What do you all think? I think a little bit, especially with J5's contribution. Yeah.
I don't think this is dangerous or mean or evil, is it?
I don't think it's bold or daring to replace her driver and take her where she doesn't want to go for a faction that doesn't want to be found.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. Is it complex or contingent on many factors? I think you're just driving her to a different place and then talking to her. Yeah. So far you're at 2 die because you start with 1 for sheer luck. Does the plans detail explosive vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Yes, you did the legwork for that. They want what you have, for sure. Are they strongest against this approach or have particular defenses or special preparations? No, part of the what VD did last time was get rid of that die, basically. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Maybe the hackers?
What would they... Oh, because they gave you all that information, right?
And probably got us into this vehicle, right? I have to assume this thing was pretty locked down and there was a driver in there, so they probably could have helped with like systems in the actual vehicle to get us in there with no alarms going off or anything?
Oh, well, I think like Jim's character just got like hired to do this thing, right?
Oh,
Like,
cool.
I
Yeah,
think
that
that's
works
above
too.
board.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I get that now.
absolutely.
Okay, my mistake.
So yeah, then we don't need the hackers, I don't think.
Yeah, and most friends and contacts I think that you would not be aware of Straylight, right? Any enemies or rivals? No, not yet, but we'll see how your engagement roll goes. And any other elements? They are 2 tiers ahead of you, so we'll give you -1, which means that you start at +2. So who wants to make that roll? 2D on your action or on your engagement roll.
Is this a J5 thing?
Sure, sounds
This is
like
a J5 thing.
yeah. So on the crew sheet, there's a button for rolling engagement, and you would put 2D there.
2 dice.
Yes. So you start out in a desperate position.
Which actually seems reasonable for kind of like kidnapping this person that doesn't want to be found. So I think that actually fictionally is pretty good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I think when this desperate action comes into places, not I think she's too like cool as a let me send you a picture of her as well. She looks a little bit different this time. She's wearing some fancy futuristic makeup. Oh wait, this doesn't work for Jim usually. Let me get the URL. Okay, this one. This should be the one that works. So dark skin. It would be a crew cut, except it stops like right here. So she has a bang, and it comes like sort of Spock cut up to her ear, and then from that ear down, there's like makeup that's pure white going down, and it's sort of like a white district look. That's how they do their makeup quite a bit. And yeah, so where is the meetup? Where do you send her?
To the Vice Den?
To the Vice Den, right. So, and that's like a hotel. It's like a fancier hotel that has a revolving door, out front, that if you're coded to the door, it lets you into this secret way between the walls is your space. So I think it becomes desperate in that you pull up to this place, and she like notices what is happening on the ride, and is sort of like doing that quiet, smoldering, seething thing, but is much too like composed and in control to lose her shit in the car and like throw a tantrum or anything like that. But when she steps out with killer boots, by the way, they're like 2-inch heels or something like that, and she's very calm, collected, but has that like I'm quietly seething, pissed off thing going on. And I imagine you guys are just there on the sidewalk, and I think you're expecting to be like, oh, welcome to, like, we're going to be even more cool and show you between the walls our Vice Den place, right? But she's just livid. And she says, as she gets out of the door and sizes you all up, I think it's in such a way that like even the pedestrians avoid you all. Like they're like, it's so palpable her hate for you in this moment that even the pedestrians, unconsciously or not, are navigating around you and being like, oh shit, this is a scene. And she says, you have no fucking idea who I am, do you? What do you do?
Who's standing out front?
I imagined it's up to you guys, I guess, right? It's your plan and operation, but I imagine that there wouldn't be a way of getting her in there because it's the revolving door and you need to be coded to get in and stuff like that.
No, ma'am. We actually know exactly who you are, and that's why you're here. Because we have something that I think you're going to want to see.
Yeah, I'm imagining we're all out there because I think it would probably be a thing where we were hoping to do a meet and greet, like show this person the jet fuel, and then be able to like go talk inside if we felt like it. But now we're probably like, oh, we got to just handle this right here, right now. But yeah, I think Silver probably looks over at VD and down at the jet fuel and like, should we just like hit her with it basically right now and be like, this is a gift. We needed to be able to, make, contact with you. I don't know. How do we want to handle this?
Yeah, is this a group action? Is everybody trying to persuade her now? Or
yeah.
I think so.
I think it would have to be. I think we need to go for a group action here and like just stack as many things in our favor as we can.
I imagine it as a group action, but we're all trying to help in different ways. Like,
well, that's
like,
not
like, get inside. We're gonna handle this inside, and somebody going, "Be our guest, be our guest," and then J5 just be like, "I have a thing."
That's not how a group action works. So a group action is you're all doing the same thing, and that's why you're better at it, right?
It can all be different flavors of the same thing, though, as long as we're using the same action like rating, right?
Right. Like if you're doing sway, you're all trying to be charming and persuasive, sure. But yes, you might want to be uniform in your efforts. It's up to you. So who is it? Is it who is leading the group action? Is Butterfly?
I mean, I guess I opened my mouth first. So
it's got tact with it, eh? Okay. And so what do you think that is as an action?
I think it's sway, yeah.
Cool. All right. So everybody's going to roll sway. Yeah. And you did take that move that if multiple people get 6s, it's a crit, right?
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
And you might need it. And people are going to be rolling desperate limited. Unless you're showing her the goods right now, then it'll be standard effect.
I think we should. I don't think we hold anything back at this moment.
Oh yeah,
I think
absolutely,
we'd be like,
yeah.
I think whether like whoever has the jet fuel right now. I don't know if it's J5. Do you have it right now, or is it like kind of sitting on the ground with us? Or because I'm imagining we're just like open this up. Hey, we know you want this. This is a gift, no strings, but we'd like to have a business relationship with you. And this was the only way we could think to contact you because you're so freaking hard to find.
It's the only way. Hey,
yeah, totally. That's what we'll go with. That's what we'll say.
Yeah. And a BD's approach is very businesswoman to businesswoman kind of thing. Like
right.
It's like calm down the emotions. This is about business.
All right.
It's like kind of a shitty way to handle it.
Sorry.
Oh, I was saying like it's kind of shitty to like delegitimize her feelings by saying like, no, this is business. But
yeah, and I know that I'll definitely be pushing for an extra die. I don't know if anyone else is going to do the same for this one.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, desperate standard if you're showing her the stuff. And yeah, everybody roll sway and push yourself if you like. Oh shit. Okay. As usual, VD's got that. Oh my god! So you triple critted basically. Oh my god! I hate.
And no stress, and no stress for a group leader, right? Because everyone succeeded. So
and no stress. Yeah. So okay. First, I want Butterfly to tell me how they look when they come out of the vehicle and say this thing, and then we'll switch to VD who crits.
Sure. She gets out and she's livid, and I come out and I'm dressed in like I have like a nice corporate suit. I I've got like whatever like earpiece that you have in if you're, you know, doing like corporate close body work or something like that. And I kind of I walk up and I stop like 3 steps away from her, just outside of her personal space, and adopt a kind of attitude and tone of voice that I'm used to using with people who think of me as the help. But like, but not in a, you know, but not obsequious, but like, okay, you hired me to do this, so I'm telling you this, kind of like that tone of voice. And I say what I said, which is, ma'am, respectfully, we do know exactly who you are, and that's why you're here, is because we know who you are, and we have something that I think you're going to want to see. And if we had sent you an email, I suspect you would have simply deleted it.
And so Bergen is your 6 then opening the case? Is that how you get the 6 or what?
Yeah, I think I've got a briefcase like chained to my wrist. I'm trying to be all like professional or whatever. And I like open it up and then I close it and then like release the handcuff and I like offer it to her.
Okay, and VD, how do you close the deal with a crit, basically?
I think VD's smoking a bit of our product because, like, to be fair, she looks for any excuse to smoke it. But also, this worked last time. And she like you sort of get her like tapping her cigarette to then you get like the ash and stuff falling off of it. And she says something like she apologizes for meeting her under such circumstances because she has the utmost respect for this woman that we're meeting, even though she's no idea who she is. And I think she offers I think the pitch is we make good shit. Like, I know that it doesn't look like we know what we're doing, but trust me, our stuff is like legit. And I think she like offers like she takes a drag to show that it's like safe to like it's safe to smoke. And then she offers it out to this woman and says, we need to make more of this stuff, but we can only make it with your help. And I foresee a very prosperous business relationship between you and I if we can make this work.
Okay. And I think because of the so you guys have the move where multiple 6s count and one of you crit and then another got a 6. So it's basically like an above crit, right? So you basically can wager for 2 extra effects, right? So I'm betting for one thing, the fact that you're doing this all open on the street corner instead of coming off as like she could have been like, you guys are fucking novices, like doing this out on the street, but instead you come off really powerful, right? Like, we're doing this right in the fucking street. And like, we've got this not illicit substance, but a highly, like, normally it would be very expensive to get the jet fuel. But
why not? This is our street. We own this street. So
yeah. So I think that comes across well. And then, so what do you want your 2 bonus effects to be, basically? I think that something that would make sense is increasing the status of the faction. And you could put it from 0. I don't know. With a double crit, it could even be a 3, I think. Because I think ordinarily giving her the jet fuel would be 1. And then you have 2 bonus effects to hit me with. So if people have other ideas, let me know as well.
I'm way interested in getting super friendly with them, unless someone else has other things they want.
I like making friends. What about you, J5?
I was gonna just ask a mechanical question. How does upping our status with them really differ from like an actual friend that we like call on for help, right? I just don't know the distinction.
Yeah. There isn't too much of a distinction, except that if there's an actual friend, like a person friend, then when you're doing downtime actions, they give you an extra D along with it. Basically, is the mechanical difference.
Yeah. Okay. But if we have like +3 with the faction, like the faction itself will go out of their way to be helpful to us,
and they expect the same from you.
Yeah, totally, which is very cool. But yeah, either way.
Yeah, and so, yeah, mechanically, the super crit or whatever, on an engagement roll, just so everybody knows, I don't know if everybody knows this or not, if you crit on an engagement roll, it actually takes you past the next obstacle, and that's why we're already in the stages of you basically having completed this mission, because the next obstacle is convincing her, and the crit takes care of that, as well as giving you a bonus effect, and then you have another bonus effect. So yeah, that was a quick mission.
I'm fine with the bonus upgrade if Jim is.
Yeah, Jim, what do you think?
Sorry, what do I think about what?
The bonus effect being increase in status.
Oh yeah, that completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
And VD, good?
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
All right, I guess take +3
Yeah.
when you were neutral with them. And so you give her the jet fuel, right? I think she was smoking like a cigarette, and she takes the sunshine from you and sort of does that like flick of the cigarette down the like a gutter or something like that, right on the corner of the street, and takes the sunshine instead. And she kind of does the smile and sizes everybody up, and I think she just says like, this is the start of a beautiful friendship type thing. And then I think she even looks at Angela Bassett and puts like a hand on maybe your in Strange Days, you know how Angela Bassett, when she's driving around the limo, she has like an actual suit with a tie and everything on. Do you have that going on? Sure. I think she puts her hand on the tie and sort of does the run up thing, and she's like, now you can take me home.
And I like turn and like nod at my compatriots, get back into the car, and I'll drive her home. Sweet.
And I think that's it. Does anyone else have any additional scene to close it out, or is that good? Man, that's how you do a fucking job, I guess, huh? Jesus.
A setup failure and then a triple crit success.
Yeah. Also, so everybody make sure that you mark the XP in Sway in Resolve, because it was a desperate roll for everybody.
Sweet. So what are we marking?
You're gonna mark the XP track for Resolve on your character sheet,
so
just by one. Yeah,
one
just
tick on Resolve. There we go. Okay, got it.
Yeah, just for doing that. We still, if people can run like 5 minutes late or something, maybe we could get a. Why don't we get the 2 quick downtime actions from Butterfly in case you're not here next time to kind of like complete it out? Is that good?
Sure.
Cool. So, do you have any idea of what 2 downtime actions you'd do?
I do not. Let me give me just a second to look back at the list again here.
For sure.
Oh well, obviously, I think I want to put more work into my long-term project of
the prototype stuff,
the delivery system for Sunshine. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. And so, is that a similar thing where you're coming to your contact, or is it a different type of scene that you have in mind for your action?
No, I think she's still working on it, so I'm going to her again.
Okay. Sweet. All right. So, I wonder if this is your action roll or her action roll is what I'm wondering. I think it would be hers. Do you have any actions in modify or hack or anything like that that would help her do the thing?
I do not. I'm not a tinker. That's why I come to her, is because she knows how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
More hands-on. I'm a people person.
Okay, so last time was 6. This is 2. So you'd get 8 in a 10 clock. If you spend 1 jewel, you could bump up the downtime action to complete it.
Do I start with any?
Yeah, you would start with 2.
So then, yeah, I'll knock that out.
Boom. Okay. So then you have like, yeah. What is that scene then? Let's say that you get the not the prototype, right? Like the finished product.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a thing where like I drop by with her, and I walk in, and she said, and like she's not smoking this time, but I come walking in, and she like kind of waves her hand like this, and she's like, "Oh my God, when did you start wearing perfume?" And I say, story behind that, not my perfume, but where are we at? And she says, so I was like the smoking thing is cute and everything, but really what we need to do is to get this into we need it to be more portable. It's got to be, you need to be able to get a lot more kick out of it for the amount of it that you get. And that prototype that I gave you, I managed to make it portable. 100 years ago, they used to instead of having 3D vids, they had these actual like paper pamphlets, and they blah blah blah. So she explains to me how comic books work, and then she like says, but that reminded me of this, and she and she says, check it out, they definitely work, and she puts one on her face, and she and there's like that flash, and she like kind of whoa, yeah. And she goes, and like when they like the first, when they're charged, the lenses are yellow, like sunshine yellow, and then you use it, and then they're gray like sunglasses, like after it's used.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just a one shot. It's like a single dose thing. Yeah. And she says best thing is, and she just like tosses it at the whatever the recycler, and it just goes poof, and it just like flashes up like it does. And she says, now, I used up all of my ocular monofilament for this, so you're going to need to find somebody to mass produce it. But I think you might be onto something here.
Sweet. Yeah, I love that. And then what do you think the next scene is? Next downtime?
I think the next downtime scene is did we pick up any heat on that last game that we just did?
No, we haven't done heat yet, but it's gonna be smooth and silent. I don't think anything.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. I think honestly it would be let me see. Yeah, so I think another temporary asset.
Sure.
Which is the scene where flashback to before I went to meet my doctor friend, and I'm at the apartment of the lady with the who we cut the deal with, and she's like leaning back on a couch with her feet up on a whatever, like a nice glass coffee table, and she's got a glass of wine, and she's wearing my necktie like loosely tied around her neck.
Right.
And she's like, well, if you go, well, if you leave, what if I need to go somewhere? And I like roll my eyes and I say, you know how to drive. And, and I say, and I point at the necktie and I say, that's actual leather. It's 100 years old. Don't put it in the washing machine. And like excuse myself and close the door. So like being able to call in a favor from her is going to be the like is that does that count as an asset like that?
It would be more like probably like a long-term project.
Oh,
and then once it was
sorry.
once it was complete, you'd get it. But I think because of the fiction that we've already established in the relationship, I think you could just add her as a friend, and then.
Or I just have the use of her car.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because that's kind of like, it seems like that's kind of my thing, is that like I just like I kind of love the idea that like if this were a TV show, like we'd get a bunch of car companies to sponsor us because every episode I'm rolling up in a different vehicle that I've either stolen or borrowed or like leased just for the month or something like that. So
right, because she even said like, what if I need to go somewhere, and you're like, whatever.
Yes, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I love it. Sounds good. And what is this one? What is this vehicle then? Is this like a Lambo or something?
This is like a this is like whatever whatever the Hack the Planet equivalent of a like black SUV with tinted windows.
It's like the Navigator spinner.
Yes, yeah, or like an Escalade or something like that. Exactly, yeah.
Love it. Cool. Everything's coming up well for Butterfly this episode.
Yeah, everything's coming up Butterfly. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, let's do some XP. We'll do all that other stuff at the start of the next one, if that's cool with everybody. And so, Aaron, do you want to do your XP questions?
Every time I rolled Desperate Action, did that address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem?
Mayhem? Could have been it.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
But we rolled too well. I mean, that could have been a lot of mayhem, but
yeah. Also, technical skill when you're going through the whole process of obtaining the fuel, possibly.
Right. Or that pirate radio.
Yeah, the pirate radio you definitely use.
And the pirate radio.
There. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
totally.
Okay. Just take one.
What do you think?
That seems like a multiple occasions of it in different contexts. I would say two, but
yeah.
Okay, cool. Express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I don't think I touched on that today. And struggled with issues from vice or trauma. I don't think I did that either.
You don't think you did beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Not really.
Your drive specifically to get that radio thing going and spread it all over the city, man. Yeah.
And also, you were like, I didn't know if you were doing it because of your like a belief or a drive or something, but what about the haggling thing? Was that an expression of your character? Like being like, oh, hell no, 4 jewels or whatever?
I hadn't been thinking of it in that way, but I think there's a way of spinning it that way. I'd have to think about whether or not, like maybe that's how he's trying to play through the luxury of his parents, that he can't keep up with them. And so like when they're not looking, he's constantly haggling to get the deal for the thing that they want.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll take
all of the super rich, not that I know that many super rich people, but the ones that I do like are really frugal.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
And cheap.
Yeah.
Cool. And Jesse?
Sure. Let's see. All right. Did I address a challenge with stealth or precision?
Do you think the whole job was pretty precise?
I guess that could count. I don't know. I'm a little less clear on this one right now. I don't know if I did those things specifically this time around. I don't know. What do you guys think?
You also met with your contact and clandestine.
Right. We were doing a lot of like consorting and doing like shady little conversations and tracking stuff down. So maybe that counts as stealth.
I'd say so.
So one for that.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
So my question there for you was, how did Silver feel about us acquiring this jet fuel, just like putting that jet fuel back out there, right? Like having ties to corporate oil.
Yeah. I don't think this would have bothered Silver specifically. I don't think it's like I think she has much more of a problem with the organizations that made it happen. You know, this stuff already exists, and if we can use it to benefit us, all the better. But yeah, I don't think that would have bothered Silver.
What about you're reiterating multiple times that you'd rather it not be blackmail versus?
Yeah, that's true.
Silver.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a real.
Would have been like, I say we just kill her or something, right?
True. Yeah. No, I think that's true. I think that probably did drive home my, like belief. Okay, let's run this like a business. Let's not be just like, mini bloodletters.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. Okay. So maybe one for that one, or
Sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Whatever you think. Yeah.
No. Okay. So I'll take one there. Let's see. Dunk. There, and then struggle with issues from vice, root, or traumas. No, I don't think I got anything on that.
Yeah. Okay, and Jim, the edge.
All right, let me see. Which sheet am I looking at here? It's that got to switch back and forth between character sheet and that one. Desperate actions, that happens in play. You addressed a challenge with violence or intimidation. I sure did.
Oh yes.
I murdered my way into the gang. So
yeah.
I would say
I'd say
that
two.
counts.
Yeah, I'd say two for that.
For sure.
So we got one there. The next one is expressed my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. And I certainly think that my executive thing came into play.
Yeah, multiple times. I feel like you had
several times. Kind of like it was sort of like that worked because that was the kind of the context that we were playing most of the session in. So I definitely brought that into play.
And your beliefs, right? We found out that you're just like, yep, I take people's eyeballs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, violence is like literally just another tool in the toolbox for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So struggled with issues from my vice, root, or traumas during the session. I don't think so. For my vice is obligations.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to. We didn't touch on that at all. So,
mm-hmm.
I did not have to go take care of my elderly grandparents, who are my obligation. So,
the tippers that you hide, you mean?
What's that?
The tippers that you hide, you mean?
The tippers that I hide. Yes. So.
Okay, Lauren, Veedy?
Yeah. So I did the disparate action. I addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy.
I think just setting up that whole meet and kind of you being the face of our conversation with this person was kind of that. I mean, we just manufactured this whole thing and you were kind of the way that we presented it.
Yeah, all of that was a conspiracy, right?
Absolutely.
So I'll take one for that, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. Did you take XP for it last session as well? Did you spend all of your downtime doing that?
I don't remember.
Yeah. It's up to you if you want to take one or two, but I would say if you didn't take it last session, you should take it now. Because
I'm trying to think.
you spent basically 3 actions in a score doing it.
I probably did. Yeah, I'm assuming I did.
Okay.
You express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. And I guess my background's underground, so I guess like all of this is very like undergroundy drug deals on the street in front of everyone in plain daylight.
Yeah, when you were like, as part of your beliefs or your drive, you were the one who was like, sort of just implying that you have the good shit, right? Like you were the one that was like, smoke this, we're the shit.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a big one for VD this time. I think that's worth 2. I think just you kind of embodied that the whole time here.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad it came across. Struggle with issues from vice, trauma, or root during the session. I know I was trying to color it in with like VD is like, oh no, look, I have to smoke the drugs to show but I don't know if it caused me any trouble.
I think if it changes anything, I think J5 notices that you're smoking in a tense, like this is supposed to be like an occasion where we're doing this score, and when she stepped out of the car, clearly angry, you were already smoking, maybe. And like,
yes,
you were high for that deal,
yeah. Like people see that, maybe not just J5, but I'll only speak for myself there. I think
that's amazing.
If that's gonna be a thing, then sure, take 1 XP. I will reward you for inner strife.
I like it. Yeah.
And then Jesse, do you want to do the crew?
Sure. Yeah. Let's take a look. Pulling that up right now. Okie dokie. So, all right. Did we acquire product supply, execute clandestine or covert sales, or secure a new territory? Boy, what do you guys think on that one? I could see how we could twist what we did into it, but I'm not 100% sure. Like definitely, I mean, new territory. I don't know.
Does the upgrade that we made to the delivery count as far as that goes?
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good point. Yes, absolutely. Right.
You have a whole new delivery method, and I think it will be very easy. Like it's basically the thing that you give to all of the people instead of the good stuff, right? Like it's just people walking around with the same brand of sunglasses that people like Sentinels see one day, right? But everybody else knows.
Nice. Okay, so 1 or 2 for that one. Do you guys think?
I think 2.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, 2. And then did we contend with challenges above our current station? I think definitely, right? Because they're like 2 tiers above us. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also getting the jet fuel and then trying to haggle it as well.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 for that.
Yeah, and also supplanting her normal driver. So, yeah.
Nice. Did we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one? And just to refresh us, our reputations are daring, hard, and clandestine. I think daring and clandestine, like we kind of embodied that this episode.
Yeah.
This session.
Fraser specifically schooled me on the term daring in relationship with the plan.
So 2 for that one then? Sounds like that's kind of like all we did, so I love it. Yeah. All right. So 2 there. And did we express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew? Again, I think this was like such a Blue Solace episode, like as far as doing exactly what we're trying to make happen, moving ourselves closer towards using these active gods and acts of a god in better ways and predicting them better so that we can get stuff. So
Totes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. And a new member to the crew too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And honestly, I would just want to say that, Jim, I loved your character, and I loved the way that bringing that new character in kind of like gave you an awesome spotlight, but it also like gave a fresh look at the crew and everything. I just thought it was a really cool thing, and super glad you joined us.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks. I appreciate everyone's patience with the old man as he got caught up. So thanks. It's a Blades in the Dark is great, but it's dense. It's like super information dense, and like just getting like dropped in, especially when there's an ongoing storyline. You guys were very cool about like slowing down and like walking me through, getting me to where I needed to be so that I knew what was going on. So thank you.
Makes you feel any better? They did the same for me for episodes 1 through like 6. It took me.
Cool. I'm going to plead jumping in on episode 47 as my as my defense. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep all of these characters in the Roll20, so anytime people get into a session, then it'll just be there, ready for people to slip in and out of anyway. So it'll be cool because it's still it's going on May and June for sure, possibly July as well. So there's tons more episodes coming.
And just I'll put it out there that if you ever get it into your head to just run a pickup session of it, do feel free to, whatever, Slack me in, or, I'm definitely interested in trying it some more, if I have the free time. So
cool. I'm gonna stop the broadcast.